So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Brad Chapman. This is the Diamond Show, and welcome to this most amazing interview this evening. Hey, do you know what? This week has been a week full of challenges, a week full of technology challenges. The Facebook gremlins have been out this week. The tech gremlins have been out this week. Apart from microphone issues and technical issues, we've struggled again this evening. But what we do have is two amazing gentlemen online and live this evening from India. We have the most amazing Jolly JPS, as otherwise known as Jolly Uncle from India, and the amazing brother Author Sherry, again from India. Now, this evening we're going to be talking to Author Sherry and to the amazing Jolly Uncle about his travels and his journeys, the books that he's written. We're going to be talking a little bit about leadership and Jolly Uncle's latest book. Now, for those of you that are tuning in live or are indeed going to be watching on Facebook on replay, Jolly Uncle, as he's known very warmly in India, is a very well-known, highly regarded, well-read, and he's a well-awarded gentleman that has written so many books that actually when I'm looking through Amazon and I'm looking through Google, not only am I amazed and impressed at what he's done with his life and how he's transforming lives. It's very humbling to be amongst the presence of such an amazing man that's changing lives around the world. And as you know, India, Brother Sherry came into my life a few months ago when I started broadcasting. I have a passion for India. So please, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the amazing Author Sherry and Jolly JPS. But before I do so, I have to explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. We actually cannot hear each other right now, but we decided, motivation, never giving in, never giving up. We can't actually hear each other. So Author Sherry and Jolly Uncle can hear me, but I can't hear Jolly Uncle and Author Sherry. So we're going to pose some questions, and then Author Sherry and Jolly Uncle are going to answer the audience back. Hopefully you can hear these guys. If you cannot hear them on Facebook, please do. Just put a little note in the note section that you can't hear them. So, good evening, Jolly Uncle and Author Sherry. How are you both this evening, gentlemen? How are you this evening?
Hello, and welcome to all dear friends. Thanks, dear Bradley Chapman, sir, for lovely intro and giving us this opportunity. Author Sherry is also joining me today in this program. Welcome to Sherry. We are honored.
Thank you.
We are honored to be here.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Jolly Uncle, can you tell us a little bit about your latest book, and perhaps tell the audience a little bit about your journey, how you come into started writing, what was your passion, your reason for writing, and explain some of the books you've written, if you can, bringing us up to date with your latest book, and how you find your motivation and energy to have written so many beautiful books, if you wouldn't mind, sir.
Okay. I would like to first congratulate sir for doing this wonderful program, because a lot of people gets the information on different subjects around the world. I would like to thank all dear friends who are watching this program. Also thankful to the Facebook, because they are connecting people around the world. Latest technology of internet and Facebook has made this possible to present a program Delhi, London together. Before starting this session, I would like to share a little background about myself, how I become a writer. As sir just told now that my name is JPS Jolly, but hardly few people know about this. My pen name is actually Jolly Uncle, and now almost everybody identifies me with this name only. Now I can say that this is a brand name of my books and my writings in India.
Okay, so here is an interesting story. I would like to tell something about Jolly Uncle. Hello everyone, my name is Sherry, and I'm the author of Unleash the Hidden Potential. I'm the founder of Motivation Sparkle, Share India. I'm a corporate trainer, blogger, and positive influencer. And it is a sheer opportunity for me to know about Mr. JPS Jolly, aka Jolly Uncle. He's the famous author, and he's won many awards in India. And there's very interesting story about Jolly Uncle, and this interesting story relates to the branding. So all of us today are somewhere trying to establish ourselves and get personal branding. And this is very interesting story about personal branding related to Mr. JP Jolly. What happened was, when he became the writer, he started writing articles with some leading publishing newspapers of India. So just for the records, he has written 32 books, and all are in different languages. So basically he writes in Hindi language, which is our parent language of the country, India. And apart from that, he has written, and his book got converted into many languages. Beyond that, he has won many awards and written more than 700 plus articles for leading newspapers. So one day what happened was, he wrote an article and the newspaper correspondent came to his place and he collected the article. At that time, there was no internet, no email. So what happened was, he forgot to mention his name. His name was JPS Jolly. So he forgot to mention his name. And when the editor got the article, he was not aware about the name. So he asked the gentleman, whose article is this? He said, it's Jolly Uncle's article. Because his name was JPS Jolly. He said, Jolly Uncle's article. So he has written Jolly Uncle. Article got published in the newspaper with the name of Jolly Uncle. And the other day, when this when this article got published, so what happened was, Jolly Uncle contacted the editor of the newspaper saying that, why you have misprinted my name? Why you have not mentioned the full name? My full name is JPS Jolly. So the editor responded that, sir, may I request you something? Jolly Uncle is looking much, much better. Please do not write JPS Jolly from now. That's my recommendation. And from that day, Jolly Uncle became famous. And this name went to every household in India, in different parts of India, different cities of India. And now everyone knows about who Jolly Uncle is. So, I personally feel, Bradley, that leadership is all about growing through challenges in life, embracing your hardships in life. And Jolly Uncle is one of the guy here. It's my pleasure to sit over here and share the interview with him. So what happens is that when you are facing a challenge in life, you tend to give up. You try to, leave the way because it's an untrodden path. But knowing that this interview, which is going to happen with you in English language, he was not prepared because by default, he is an author who writes different books in Hindi language. He does not write in English. It's not his strong point. It's his weak point. But he has accepted the challenge. He has created the script. He's worked hard for the last 3-4 days. He has prepared himself. And I think that's what the leadership is all about. You have to embrace the failures, the challenges, the problems you come across in life. At this age, he has not given up. He said, I want to give this interview and I want to inspire people around the world, not only in India, in UK, England, Australia, America, wherever this interview will spread. So this is the personality I'm talking about. And I think during this interview, we're going to learn a lot of things because he will personally share how he became a writer, about his life journey, and most importantly, about his recently written book, Leadership. It's all about leadership. Over to Jolly Uncle.
Thank you, Shariji. Thank you. As far my education is concerned, actually, I am starting from the very beginning. I just completed my graduation from Delhi University. As an average student, frankly speaking, I was not good in studies. After completing my education, I started my career as a stenographer with a leading company in Delhi. Later on, I cleared the exam of custom house agent of import-export custom clearing agency with my partner, Mr. Gulshan Mehndiratta. We are partnered for the last 40 years. Now, for the last few years, my son, Aman Jolly, and my partner, Mr. Gulshan Mehndiratta, mainly they are managing this show. I am busy in writing all these books and articles. In my entire education, I have not pursued any journalism diploma or degree course. Moreover, I have never got the opportunity to work with any media house. Now, you must be thinking then how I became a writer, how I have written so many books and articles without any experience, any background about the. No one in my family has written anything. No one has tried even this. One more thing I would like to add here, as Mr. Sherry told, that I am writing basically in Hindi. But at the same time, my publishers are translating the same books in Indian languages. Two are in English, Bengali, Marathi, Gujarati, Punjabi, and other so many languages. So Sherry ji has just given the detail about how from JPS Jolly to Jolly Uncle.
Okay, so we are through with the introduction part. Bradley, if I may request you, you can ask any question, and then probably Jolly Uncle is here, and he will reply to your questions and whatever you would like to ask during this interview. Over to you.
So Jolly Uncle, I wanted to ask you something. Your logo, which I love, is the smiley face, right? So when I look for the logo, yes. Very, very good.
Yes. So as we all know that
absolutely. Thank you so much, Brother Sherry.
Yeah. So you have asked about the logo. And there is a very interesting fact that we all know that jolly means smile, happiness. So whenever we say jolly, you have a jolly nature.
So I think we've got a delay on the
two smileys.
See, you are also jolly right now. You're smiling.
I think we have a delay between the speaking. Yes.
That's really okay. That's really okay. Okay, so what happened was Jolly Uncle. He was not smiling all the time during his life. He has went through many challenges. Actually, due to some health problems in 1995, that's now around I think 22 years back. I'm talking about. So doctors recommended him a complete bed rest. And he was diagnosed with DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis. It's a very serious problem, actually. And at this stage, he was not able to even move. And he cannot go out for movies and parties. He cannot enjoy with his family. So the situation was really troublesome. And at that point in time, he was very depressed and he was totally confused what to do in life. How many times all of us come across such situations when we do not know what we have to do in life? We are totally confused. And that's exactly what he was going through. So it was a critical phase in his life. And one day, he read a quote in a magazine that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% of how do we react to it. I repeat, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% of how we react to it. And Bradley, this one message has given him a spark to do something in life. Now, what that something is? So he started to think to overcome from his physical disability, and he started writing. And when he started writing, at that time, he tried to showcase his effective skills in form of writing articles and short stories. By the way, Jolly Uncle is very famous for his stories in India. And this became a surprise for him that so many media people and his friend circle, they started liking the articles and the stories he was sharing. And just because of this hidden skill, he has achieved this position and he has motivated himself and he has motivated many people. And he has written 32 books and more than 800 articles under his name with all the leading newspapers of India. Most of them have published article of Jolly Uncle. And hopefully Diamond Books, which is a famous publishing company in India, Diamond Books is a very big publisher, and they will release his next book, and the name of the book is all about leadership. And by the end of next month, Jolly Uncle is expecting this book to get published in the market. So earlier, what was happening, that he used to write only inspirational story books, and now for the last few years he's writing motivational books also, or you can say self-help books, which in today's time is you can say that are need of the hour, basically, because a lot of people are feeling depression, a lot of people are confused, a lot of people are not aware what to do in life. And so recently one of his publisher, the book line, he has also released a book of stories, and the name of the book is Stories of Success, and it is published in Hindi language. And in the said book, he's tried to cover all the aspects of the success. So this is about Jolly Uncle, and that's how he started with his smiling logo. And today he does not require any name. He has earmarked his name into the field of writing, in the field of literature. Yes, you can hear me, but there is a delay, but that's really okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening tonight, I can actually now hear Brother Sherry and Jolly Uncle. So I can hear them, but there is now a delay on the internet between the sound that's coming from their side and my side. So leadership is an amazing thing to talk about. Motivation and inspiration. What an amazing story that author Sherry has shared there on behalf of Jolly JPS. So indeed, the next question I wanted to ask Jolly Uncle is, does he think that the younger generation are finding it more difficult to experience motivation than the older generation? So the younger generation, are they inspired, do you think? Or do you think the younger generation are less inspired than the older generation?
Actually, the younger generation is very lucky. They have got all the opportunities. They have got internet, Facebook, and so many other sources. At our time when we were young, there was not so much money, no facilities were there. Only we have got one dictionary, we had to find some words. So that was really a difficult time. But today's generation, even after having so many facilities, they just need a direction. They know each and everything, even MBA, medical, every information on the Google is available. Everybody is using smartphone. Every student is having smartphone in his hand. Basically, they require direction. As you see, like aeroplane without a direction needle is nothing. Whatever the experience of the pilot, how much best the aeroplane is, but if there is no direction needle, so we can't reach to our goal. So basically, we have to guide them, we have to show the direction for their goal. They know each and everything, but we have to still guide how to reach that goal.
Thank you, Jolly Uncle. That's a really fantastic. So there's a delay my end, but I get that now. We've got the thumbs up, so that's working. I think we cracked that. So I also wanted to ask Jolly Uncle, was there a turning point in his previous life where he'd experienced something? You mentioned that he'd gone through pain and he'd had a tough time. Was there a person in his life that he took inspiration from that helped him to find that motivation, or did it come from with himself? Was there somebody you looked at and you thought, that person has inspired me? Somebody in your life that was an inspirational character?
Actually, when I started writing, then at that time I started with very small columns for the medium-sized newspapers. At that time, there was no guide. Actually, I was on the bed. There was no movement. And I have no background of journalism, as I just told them. So it was really very difficult time for me to go through that. But later on, I read about Gulzar Saab. He is one of the best literature writer, now a film producer, story writer, world famous personality, Gulzar Saab. So I have read a lot about Gulzar Saab in newspapers, saw his interviews on YouTube and on other channels. So he has really inspired me. Whatever he writes, he gives a social strong message for the society. Whatever movie he makes, there is a very strong message. So I follow him. I never write anything for just time pass. Whatever I write to convey something to every member of the society, so that whenever someone read my book today or after 5 years or after 10 years, they must got some positive message. So this is my aim, to write everything positive. Every word should be some weightage towards positive direction.
Very good. So I'm doing as best as I can here because I'm trying to read the lips of Jolly Uncle, and I'm hearing in my ear about 10 seconds behind what he's saying. So Jolly Uncle, thank you. Do you know, I've followed you now for a while. It's amazing how small the world actually is. And as you know, I do a lot of broadcasts on the world is smaller than you think. And that's how dear brother Sherry came into my life from Vivek Dureja. And then, of course, Jolly Uncle is connected with Motivation Sparkles and a powerful presence in India. What do you think about the ability that we now have? We spoke a little bit about the younger generation. India, in my humble opinion, is going to grow faster and faster and faster. And the GDP of the country is going to accelerate. And I absolutely believe that India is ready to really start developing a continued global strength, global connectivity, and the commercialization with India, I believe, is absolutely going forward, and it's moving up. And I think it's going to become a powerhouse, a global powerhouse. What's your thought on India and how India is impacting the world, both positively and commercially?
Okay. Bradley, let me share one example with you before Jolly Uncle share his views. Actually, when you speak about the youth, it reminds me of a small real life story. So I was very fond of cricket. Even today also, I really love the way Indian captain Virat Kohli plays with a lot of determination, attitude, and fitness levels. So he is one of my inspiration for fitness. And I remember there was a bowler spinner on Indian cricket team. His name is Harbhajan Singh. So for the records, he has taken hat-trick versus Australia in the test match. So, when he started playing cricket, there's a very interesting story with about Harbhajan Singh. And this Indian cricketer was so fearful to speak English. Harbhajan Singh actually was thinking that if I get a chance to speak English, it is almost a death for me. And in one of the matches, what happened was that, there was a ball which is coming on near to his hands. He wanted to catch the ball, but then suddenly the thoughts going on in his mind was, if I tick the catch, I have to,
Face the media.
I have to face the media. I have to give the interview in English. So I don't want to pick up the catch. I have to drop the catch. So let me drop the catch, and so that I will not be facing the media. I will not be speaking English. Wow, what a great thinking. But fortunately, today Harbhajan Singh is able to speak, and he has command in this language. He speaks so well, and this is what our youth is doing today. Our education system in India, we have been following a lot of things which has been the part of 1850s, the old system of education started by Mr. Macaulay, and when East India Company started the education system and reframed everything in India. And from that time, I think there have been a lot of changes. There has been a drastic change in the kind of environment and the society we live, and people have really evolved themselves into some extraordinary thinking and some brilliant executions into technology, into experiences, and some real exciting discoveries. So all thanks to the positivity which youth has carried forward, and the legacy will continue for sure. And as far as the writing field is concerned, because we are talking about writing here, I can see that many people have started writing. So all thanks to Facebook and some amazing social media platforms like Medium, LinkedIn, or Twitter. So they're encouraging people to write down their feelings. And actually, this gives a real big chance to all the people, all the youth across the country, across the world, to pen down their feelings in their own words. And I think this is one of the best ways you can learn anything. The more you do, the more you learn. Simple and clear. So I think we are going through a development stage, and we really are proud in India that a lot of people, a lot of Indians are really doing well. A lot of people around the world are doing exceptionally well in their own fields. And yes, Jolly Uncle really inspires me. That's absolutely true. And one small incident when I was struggling to keep my name, my pen name. So we were discussing, I was talking to Jolly Uncle and I took his advice. He was the first person and he was the last person whom I took the advice from, because when he advised me from his heart, just like his own son. And that's what really matters. At certain situations in life, money does not matter. What matters is the coaching, the advice, the mentorship. And he's one of the person who gave me the advice to keep my name as Sherry instead of Supreet. So, the branding is very important. He described me the significance of the branding. And today I'm in front of you as author Sherry, and the credit goes to him for this because of the name he has given to me. And that's a fact. And there are many instances which he can tell you in this interview wherein he has inspired so many people. Before the start of the interview, we were having the dinner. He was telling me that one child, he has counseled and he has drastically changed. He has transformed himself. So, these kind of stories really inspires you. These kind of things really inspire you when you have this confidence that somebody is there to back you up, to guide you. I think you don't require much. Then it's your confidence and determination. Along with your passion, you can achieve anything in life.
I love that, and thank you. That's really touching me. I'm still hearing your voice for about 15 seconds, so I'm catching up in my ear. That was amazing. My next question is this, that Jolly Uncle has inspired you greatly, Brother Sherry. Jolly Uncle has touched so many people's hearts. He has inspired so many people, not just in India, but he's now going to start coming around the world because the next book is going to be in an English translation. And I love it. If I wish I could speak Hindi, because I would be reading those books, but I can do a Google translation, right? It's not, anything's possible. Jolly Uncle, what does it feel like knowing that you've inspired people, that you've touched their hearts? And there are so many people that you don't know that you've inspired, because you probably can't reach everybody and know everybody, but you've inspired so many people. How does that make you feel, sir?
Basically, this if we talk about the writers and about the youngsters, they just need a pen, computer, and few papers and a wonderful idea. Just with these things, they can create a whole new world, because there is no end to imagination and the creativity. Practically, there is no difference between a common man and a writer. As far I have experienced some of people taken decision with the heart, some only use brain, whereas the writer uses both heart and brain before creating or writing something special. One thing we must keep in mind, that before start writing, we must have a clear thought about the concept on which we are planning to write a book. We must study, collect all the relevant information pertaining to the subject. I will also recommend to do some research work, so that our presentation must be unique. Internet can play a very important role in this. If you want to explain any particular place or a thing which we have not seen, then we can search on Google or YouTube and get the proper related information. I am saying all this because you must have noted that if a logger has to cut a tree within 8 hours, he normally uses first 4 hours for sharpening the tools. This one example can do wonders in writer's life. Second important point, what I think is, best we can give it to the society, how our writings will help to change the life of others, especially youngsters. One more thing I would like to add here, that our language must be very simple. We have to select words very wisely so that they don't hurt anyone in any manner. Next, I feel creativity and awareness is very important place for a writer's life. A writer also see all the activities happening around like a common man with eagle's eye, but he has to observe each and everything very deeply. Only then he will be able to express his thoughts, his views in the form of writing and books. Besides this, we can learn a lot of new things from our mistake. Some people call it experience. So I also insist, as just Shariji told, that the branding is very important, whether we are in the consumer product trade or in writing the book or anything. So from the very first day we had to write like this. We have to make our own image, our own brand. If we have to reach on the top to maintain that position, we must make out our own identity with unique brand. That brand value really pays a lot in the long run.
Very good. I'm just catching up the last 10 seconds of what Jolly Uncle said. Just bear with me. I love the, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching now, just to understand, I actually can't hear Jolly Uncle and author Sherry directly, so I'm having to listen from my phone through Facebook, but there's a time delay of when these amazing gentlemen finish speaking. I'm sure you'll agree that no matter what happens, the show must go on. No matter what you face, we never give up and we never give in. And actually, dear brother Jolly Uncle, our experience, and sometimes the mistakes we make are the lessons that help us to endure life. It helps us to understand that there will be bumps in the road. It helps us to understand that the more that you face in life that you may see as challenges or problems are actually life's lessons that teach you to become stronger of mind, to become more heartier into your heart, and to sense and feel in your soul. And I think what's happened in Jolly Uncle's life is he's had these experiences that he's converted into good, he's converted into motivation, and now he is inspiring not just youths, It's all age groups in India, and now hopefully, as dear brother Jolly Uncle starts to translate his books in English, I am absolutely certain that the English-speaking world will embrace Jolly Uncle with amazing open arms. I cannot wait to read your books, Jolly Uncle. I cannot wait to read your latest book that's coming out in English, and I promise you, I will be the first one in the queue on Amazon to get your English book. I wanted to share, I wanted to share The World is Smaller Than You Think.
I want to say something, if you
John
please.
Uncle is online tonight. Now, although we've had some technical problems, we've managed to pull it off, I think. But I managed to meet Brother Sherry in India. Brother Sherry is obviously a dear friend and a student, I guess, of Jolly Uncle. The world indeed is smaller than you think. Ladies and gentlemen, we just have to reach out and to embrace that. We have to just reach out and connect with people because, ladies and gentlemen, I now have some friends, more friends in India. You know, my Sikh brothers that's actually sitting opposite me on this TV channel right now. I offer them respect and love and thanks for their time this evening. Let's ask another question of amazing Jolly Uncle. Would you give us your understanding of leadership? So talking about your new book is leadership. Now, last week, or the week before, actually, we had Bernie Swain. Where is he? Bernie Swain on the show. And Bernie Swain is the founder of the Washington Speakers Bureau. Now, I know that MS Talks has been launched by Brother Sherry in India. You're doing the talks. And I know you're inspiring people. But Jolly Uncle, please share with us, what is leadership? How can you become a great leader? Are we born as leaders? Are we trained? Please share with the world what your thoughts are on leadership and how we can become better leaders.
All right. So Bradley, before I hand it over to Jolly Uncle, you know, you have shown interest to read Jolly Uncle's book and read his best book. But according to Jolly Uncle, you know, what is the best language of the best book? What is the top language for the best book? He says that best book is checkbook. Checkbook is the best book. And his best book, he has not written it yet. So this is the kind of profoundness and the humor he adds on to things and the stories and the write-ups, you know, he involves himself upon. So, you know, that's the kind of, you know, command he has on humor and on writing. So it's not only about writing serious things. You know, he makes people laugh so easily, just like this. And it's all about talent. You know, people say that, you know, if you want to make people laugh, you have to be a comedian, you have to be a stand-up comedian. But let me tell you that even if you're a writer and you have a little bit of humor here and there with some ground level knowledge, you can make people laugh so easily. And that's why his name is Jolly Uncle. He makes you laugh just like that. Leadership.
Regarding leadership, as you just talk about, the basic qualities of a leader or a leadership is a strong vision, a strong mindset, and courage. These are the basic three things which I normally see in the top leaders or successful leaders. Leadership is nothing but the way to do things differently, to make other people's life easier. Anyone who is serious to become a good leader will soon become a leader. However, there are basic certain qualities we have to develop for a leadership. First thing I see, a big vision. That is most important. Without a vision, we can't change neither our life nor others' life. So normally, a good leader see the things which other people don't see. They have a very strong vision which includes planning, execution, and also includes short-term and long-term goals. Second most important thing which I think is positive attitude. Leader must have a positive, strong attitude. Anyone who can create positive impact on others can be a good leader. So the one point that positive thinking is the key element to ensure success in any field. Besides this, leaders do certain things which other people normally say that it's not possible. They can inspire others with their positive thoughts. Leaders not only believe in action but also delivers the best results. This becomes possible because they keep learning. So in my opinion, the most important fact about the leadership is positive attitude and a belief in self to be a true leader. One thing they are always ready to take risks to achieve their goals. Leaders have the courage to do something extraordinary things, which means they create new path to achieve their goal. Today, everybody wants to become a leader. After all, who doesn't like a name, fame, and power? However, only few are aware of the skill of the leadership. A good leader believes that optimism wins 50% of the battle and the rest 50% depends on one's hard work, knowledge, and experience. One cannot be a leader if he is masked to pretend to be a leader. Leader is the one who leads the flock and in times to create more leaders. Here I would like to share an example of leadership which I have read in a book of Spirit of Leadership. In the said book, he has mentioned that the biggest animal of the jungle is elephant. The cleverest animal is jackal. The tallest animal is giraffe. And the fastest animal is cheetah. The fastest animal is chimpanzee. The cutest animal is rabbit. The list will go on expanding, but in spite of best qualities in each of them, none stands to be a true leader. But the lion is the one who, in spite of having none of them individually, is considered to be the king. The quality that makes him the indisputable leader is courage, strength, and attitude. Today, everyone knows about the leaders and leadership. Even youngsters have the clear idea about the leadership. The main problem is how to implement that idea, how to start the journey of that leadership. So this is my opinion about the leadership.
I love that. Totally amazing. Totally amazing. Gentlemen, I'm so sorry we had a slight technical issue this evening, but you know, the good Lord works in mysterious ways. We've had the great pleasure to meet each other. I was actually speaking last night with Robert J. Moore in Canada about emotions and about the challenges we can face, you know, never giving in. We're talking about leadership. And you have to embrace the time and the opportunity. And we've had a wonderful evening talking this evening. I know it's very close to midnight now for you guys, and I appreciate very much you staying up this evening late to be online. So I want to say thank you very much indeed from myself, and obviously bless you. All for Sherry. I wish you every continued luck with Motivation Sparkles, MS Talks, Unleash the Hidden Potential, Jolly Uncle. I'm wishing you every continued success and love. I love the smiley face. I love the humor. I love the energy. And, you know, I'm going to America in April next year, but I'm going to make it my mission to get to India, probably within the next 6 to 8 months, most definitely, because I believe there's lots of work to be done out there. And I believe that we're connected for a reason. And that reason, as Jolly Uncle said, his best book is yet to come. I believe our greatest moment is yet to come. So I want to say thank you to you both. I wish you a marvelous and wonderful evening. And Brother Sherry, Jolly Uncle, if there's anything you'd like to finish on to say before we take the show off air, but let me just say, bless you, brothers. Thank you so much for your time. Bless you. Brother Sherry, please do fire away, and Jolly Uncle, fire away.
Thank you, Bradley, for your kind words. We really feel proud that you know, we got this opportunity, and Jolly Uncle, you know, is feeling so proud that you know, at this point in time, he was not expecting this kind of interview. So all credit to you, and lots of gratitude to you and your organization for putting up this amazing show, and your consistent efforts. I've been watching you for every day almost. You know, there is some or the other interview going on. I've seen the interview of a couple of people recently. I've seen how Sean is inspiring his transformation, inspiring people with his transformation. So no, that credit always is there with you, because you are doing an excellent job. And let me just wrap up the interview with my small gesture, because a person feels that somehow if I will talk about my awards, people will take it other way. But let me tell you that there is a huge list of awards which Jolly Uncle has won, and just because of his leadership. And let me name a few, because the list is long. And he has recently won the award which was awarded by respectable Home Minister of India, and he has also won an award which is awarded by respectable Nazma Heptullah, who is the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, Indian Parliament House. He's also won an award by Miss Sushma Swaraj, and he's also into the ministry, the foreign ministry. She's the foreign minister, and also one of the key awards which he has won recently from Human Rights Council of India, and he has been awarded as a Sikh role model from Canadian organization. And last but not the least, he has also award an award by Miss Rajshri, who is the granddaughter of freedom fighter respectable Subhash Chandra Bose. So all these people who has given the award, they are the achievers in their field. And Jolly Uncle has received the award from these people. So it takes a lot of efforts, a lot of determination, and everyone wants to achieve something in life. Fame is equally important, money is there, respect is there, but fame is equally important. But achieving all of this, I have seen so much humility in Jolly Uncle. So I think that's what leadership is all about, and I have learned a lot personally from him. So I would like to give it over to Jolly Uncle now to say a few words before we wind up.
Thank you, Sherry ji. Thank you, Bradley Saab. We are ending up on the leadership. So I would just say one line: best leader is only that person who thinks and do something about the well-being of the humanity. The main thing is that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the show. Thanks for this honor. Highly obliged.
Bless you, bless you, bless you, brothers. Jolly Uncle, I feel refreshed. I got my smiley face on. If people never actually know what goes on behind the scenes, and when we have technical problems and things aren't working, the last 2 weeks I've had more technical problems with my show, but it's a test. It's a test, because to look forward, not too soon. Actually, the show is going to be broadcast from a very professional studio, so everything's a measure. And we talk about leadership, and there is resilience and your ability to keep going. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this evening, we've been blessed on the Diamond Show with the amazing author Sherry and the amazing, most loved uncle in India, Jolly Uncle, the author of 32 books, the award-winning from the ministries in India. Too many awards to mention. The most amazing guy that can lift your day. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the update on the new book that's coming out for Jolly Uncle on leadership. I will be the first one there for sure. Gentlemen, bless you both. Thank you so much for coming on. And one day we may meet in person, God willing. Thank you very much indeed for watching. God bless everybody, and good evening. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye now.